In what ways was he more talented than the competition then?
Well, I mean, his determination and desire and drive is second to none. Just the desire and the will to win. And I've never come across anybody that just hates to lose. I mean, running second is just ain't an option. He just didn't like that. Now, of course, you can't win all the time, but just the desire, to just do the best you can every week, unlike anything I've ever seen.
Tiger's former swing coach, Butch Harmon, once said, quote, "Tiger's capacity for work exceeds that of any golfer I've ever known." From your experience, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, there are other players who've probably practiced harder and spent more time, but just his way he went about things, the array of shots that he would always practice. Now, Tiger is notorious for hitting incredible shots, recovery shots and getting it up and down out of incredible positions and just hitting some amazing shots. The commentators would give a lot of emphasis on, that's a dangerous shot, or that was a bit lucky, or, that wasn't perhaps a shot you should try, but he would practice all these different shots. I mean, it's not like he'd just go out there and try and hit a miracle shot. He would practice all these sorts of shots. I mean,
so it wasn't more hours necessarily that he was putting in, because you said some people put in more hours, it was practicing in a different way?
Yeah, just his method of practicing was a whole lot different to anyone else that I'd worked for. Just, the way he hit an array of shots, high shots, low shots, left to right, right to left, just always hitting different shots and practicing different shots. So, there was never a circumstance where he didn't believe he could hit the shot that was required, sort of thing, yeah.
You and Tiger 14-1 when going into the final round of a major with at least the share of the lead. Why do you think that was?
Well, first and foremost, when you're playing in a tournament and you're heading into the last round and you're leading the tournament, that there, simply tells you that you're playing better than anybody else in the field. So that there, gives you a good sense of well-being. But, Tiger was, if you asked me, what was his biggest asset, in my opinion, is that he was able to play his best when it meant the most. That's his biggest asset. When it was most important, when it meant the most, when it came down to the last few holes, he could play his best, and that's what separated him. I mean, he's obviously a very talented player and a great player, no denying that, but his ability to play his best when it meant the most was what would be my opinion of why he was such a special player and why he is such a special player.
What about the intimidation factor?
Big thing. There's no two ways about it, and that's I think something that's going to make it very difficult for Tiger. Not difficult, but that's definitely a different mindset from other players. I mean, Tiger was very intimidating. There's no two ways about it. I mean, his record would indicate that he was very intimidating. And when you're playing,
but it was more than just the record, wasn't it? I mean, it was just kind of the aura when you both would walk up somewhat, right?
Tiger could, back in the early days, he could hit shots that nobody else could hit. I mean, he just played in a fashion that no one else played for a while, and that's intimidating. And knowing a guy can hit shots that you can't hit and can play like you can't play is intimidating. So, intimidation factor counts for, a lot. There's no two ways about it. And, right now, Tiger doesn't have that intimidation factor. So that's part of his artillery that's not there anymore. So, it's not to say that he can't gain that again, but it was definitely a contributing factor during all his incredible success.
How would you both handle the stresses, the pressure of the sport?
You thrive on it.
How so?
I mean, you just thrive on it. That's what you're out there trying to do. That's what you practice for. That's what you train for. You thrive on it. Pressure's an awesome thing. I mean, there's two ways to look at pressure. You can take it in two hands and just absolutely love it and embrace it and know that that's the moment you're living for and this is what you're looking for, or you can let it affect you. So
it was almost as if it was exciting.
Absolutely, no two ways about it. I mean, you got to. I mean, if first and foremost, pressure. If you don't if you don't feel pressure, obviously you don't care what you're doing. For those people that don't have, feel any kind of pressure, they ain't trying hard enough, or they don't care enough about what they're doing. So you embrace it. Pressure's great. That's what you train for. That's what you work hard for. That's what that's what you put 100% effort into. So when you get under the pressure, you can take it. It's exhilarating. No two ways about it.
How confident is Tiger?
Well, you've got to be confident. That sort of goes without saying. If you're in business or you're in sport or whatever it might be, in order to be the best you can be, you've got to be confident in yourself and your abilities. So they go hand in hand. You've got to be extremely confident.